tape, and people say, they often say, why is she releasing the tape now? You know what I think happened? I think this child has had treatment. She's coming to terms with this and has now decided she's not fully forgiven, which she's got to find her way to that someday for her own good. But I think she released this tape now because she's partially treated. Judge Karen, I want to ask you this. This judge, he is a peer of yours. I understand you're in Florida, he's in Texas. What should or will happen to this guy?
Well, I think the statute of limitations has already run on any possible abuse charges. I think it's 3 to 5 years in Texas. I think that more than a legal issue, though, this becomes a moral issue. What I was saying earlier is that the United States Supreme Court banned corporal punishment in schools in the 1970s, but never made a decision or a ruling about corporal punishment domestically. That is, people have a right to punish their children. Even the Attorney General of Texas has said that it's appropriate to use a belt to punish your children. And I wonder how many parents could stand up to the scrutiny of a videotape of them punishing their children. That's one thing, because I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people,
videotape like that of me.
I think a lot of people,
because I know what happens. I know what happens to the kids' brains. I have to deal with it later.
You know what?
I don't care if people have a right to. This is, first of all, in this state they do not. In California,
first of all, in many places
they
don't. And with all due respect to the judge,
you know
if you're
what?
A parent
The United
States
Supreme
child,
Court
that video
could have
should hold
said
up. You shouldn't be
there
ashamed
are
for the world to see how you're treating your children.
There are 22 countries in the world that have outlawed domestic corporal punishment. That means that parents cannot punish their children. Guess what? The United States isn't one of those countries. And we don't have any
signatory to the International Human Rights Convention, which says that everybody has the right to be free from violence.
Jack, go ahead.
Your Honor, as a public official, as in most states, there is a mandatory reporting requirement for abuse. If you witness this, you would be required to report this to the authorities, to the Department of Health and Human Services, and to the judiciary for the professional conduct of the judge under this circumstance. You cannot ignore this.
And let me just say,
everybody,
Jack, let me interrupt you. Judge, hang on, Your Honor. 1 second. Let me just tell you, I don't care. No, I'm sorry. I don't care what the law says. We in the medical system have overwhelming evidence of what this does to children. Yes, societies used to do this. We used to do all kinds of horrible things. We used to have torture, for God's sakes. It's time we put a stop to this. We know the consequences, and I don't care what the Supreme Court has said. It's going to say something different because we know now what this does to children. It's got to catch up with the medical facts.
By the way, I don't want any belt beaters out there who are doing this to their children to think it's okay and that they can get away with it, because in many places they would be prosecuted. That would certainly be the case here in California. It's a matter of degree, even in Texas. 7 minutes beating a disabled child is a crime even in Texas.
I have to stop. Coming up, the dad wasn't the only one beating and verbally abusing this teenager. Her mother got involved in this as well. I'm going to show you that part of this. And I tell you, it's all so disturbing to me because I see these people as adults. I'm the one that has to put this all back together, me and my peers. And let me tell you, it's not subtle. It's not a question, does it harm them or doesn't? It's overwhelmingly obvious, and it sickens me. So stay